Step 6, resize the width of column A using the auto fit. So I'm going to bring my cursor and hover above the A until it looks like an upside down arrow. And then I'm going to come in between A and B until I have two arrows pointing sideways and double click. And that's our auto fit. And I'm going to undo for a second. So when you have numbers in a cell and there's not enough room for all the numbers to show, they look like pound signs. This does not happen with words, it only happens with numbers. So you'll see up here in A2 that this is letter characters, and that did not happen. When you have letters, it either looks like it's going over to the next cell if there is nothing in the next cell, or it looks like it's tucked under the next cell if there is something in the next cell. So we're just going to come up here till our cursor looks like two arrows with a bar in the middle and double click for our auto fit. Then step 7, we are going to look for duplicate entries. There's also another tool in Excel for this step, and we'll learn about that later on in the textbook. But for right now, we're going to use conditional formatting to highlight that. So we're going to select the range A5 to A16, and we're going to come over to our conditional formatting, still on the home ribbon. I'm going to use the pull down, highlight cells, and we're going to look for duplicate values. So this is just a quick and easy way to find the duplicate values. It will format it with this default light red and dark red. We'll say OK. And we're going to delete the row containing the first duplicate value, so that's row 9. So again, we don't click in the cell to delete a row. We click in the row heading, which are numbers. So we're going to click on the number 9, right click on the number 9, and delete that. And our conditional formatting went away for the other one because the rule is that it's looking for duplicates. Since we don't have the duplicate anymore, there's nothing highlighted. He wants to keep step 8, a running count of the invoices sent to clients. So we need to count how many invoices there are here. So when we're counting cells that have characters in them other than numbers, and these cells do because they have the dashes, we have to use a count function. If we were going to count the invoices from this data, which is straight numbers, we could use the count function. But when you want to count cells that has something other than numbers in them, we use the counta. So in B3, all functions start with an equal sign for almost always. We're going to choose the counta. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to select my range and hit my enter key. Okay, we are on step 9. Caleb wants to display all the text in E4. So we are going to reformat that. So in here, we're first actually going to make the column width smaller. I'm going to come up to the column heading E and right click on it. Again, make sure we're not in this cell or this cell and right clicking. We won't even get the choices that we need. So we need to be in the column heading, right click, column width. We're going to change the 8.5 just to 8, type it in and click OK. And then we'll click in E4, still on the home ribbon, the alignment group, and we're going to wrap the text. Step 10, apply shading to the range A2 to C3. So A2 to C3. I'm going to make sure I did that right. I'm going to type it up here. A2 to C3. Select it. And I'm glad I did that. And then we're going to shade it. I always call this guy up here the fill bucket. We're in the font group. Click on the fill bucket. And I think we're using this green accent 3. this one right here. Click outside of it so you can see it. And there you go.